For the God's Eye project, you need 2 wooden skewers, the colors of yarn that you're going to use. You can roll them into balls first, or you can roll one color at a time, however that works out for you. A pair of scissors and a little piece of tape. Before we start the God's Eye, we're going to take our tape and a little tape flag. So you don't need a huge piece of tape. You're going to wrap it around one end of one of your skewers. Doesn't matter which one. Try to line it up so that the tape sticks to itself. And you're going to write your first and last name and your block on your flag. So I'm going to put Ms. Orchard. And let's say I'm in block 4. Okay. You have to use at least 2 different colors of yarn. You can use as many different colors as you would like. I'm going to start with orange. Let me put my other yarn off to the side here. And I'm going to begin by putting my 2 skewers side by side. It's okay that this skewer is kind of wonky looking. You can see it's not perfectly straight. I'm going to start by tying the skewers together with a slip knot. So with your yarn, take the end of the yarn, loop it around itself. And then we're going to come back through this loop right here. Okay. I'm going to put the loop around both skewers. Make it nice and snug. Try to get it in the middle, just eyeball it. And then I'm going to open up the skewer so that they make an X or a plus sign. Try not to poke yourself with the pokey end of the skewer. I'm going to hold my skewers with one hand. I'm going to put my yarn ball to my right because I'm a righty. I'm going to go around the cross section 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Then I'm going to rotate my skewers. I'm going to go around them again. Oops. 1, 2, 3. And now I can begin the weaving process. So to start weaving, I'm going to hold my skewers in my non-dominant hand. I'm going to weave with my dominant hand. I'm going to rotate the skewers as I'm weaving. So I'm going to start by going to this skewer right here. I'm going to go around the skewer and then to the next skewer. I'm going to go around the skewer to the next, around the skewer to the next. It's important to loop around because if you don't loop around, it's not going to work. So now I'm going to go around to the next, around to the next, and around to the next. So you keep going over, around, over, around, over, around. You'll see that I start to build up on the skewer. You don't want to keep looping it over and over itself over and over again. So around, over, around, over, around, over. I'm going to time lapse this bit so I can show you what it looks like when you need to change colors. When you're ready to change colors, go ahead and cut the yarn that you were currently using. Leave yourself enough string to tie a knot. If you plan on repeating the color you were just using again, you can leave the yarn ball at your workstation. If you're not going to use it again, you can put it in the box with the other yarn balls. It's okay if you rolled more yarn than you needed into a ball because somebody else can use it. So to switch colors, let me switch to this blue here. I'm just going to tie the 2 pieces of string together. So I'm going to take my blue and my orange. So I'm going to go right over left, like you're starting to tie your shoes, and then left over right. Okay, you just pull it tight. You can cut these little bits off, or you can leave them on there and trim them later. Sometimes people will cut the end bits and then their knot will come undone, so you just have to tie it again. Make sure you throw your bits of yarn away. So I'm going to continue this process, okay? So I went over, I'm going to go over, around, over, around, over, around, over, around, and you keep going. How much of each color you have is really up to you. Some people like to count how many lines of each color they have, and some people just kind of eyeball it. So you need at least 2 different colors of yarn. So you can show me that you can weave the yarn and you can transition between more than one color. But again, you can use as many colors as you want. You can make whatever kind of pattern you want, whether it's, you know, a set pattern where this could go orange, blue, or it could do orange, blue, black. However you want to do that, okay? Just keep going and going and going. And I'm gonna, oops, did I go around that too many times? Yeah. You see it should build out on the skewers and it shouldn't build up. I am pulling it kind of tightly as I'm working, which might bend your skewers, and that's not necessarily a problem. You don't want it to be too loose though, because if it's too loose, the whole thing's gonna unravel. Always go around and then over the next skewer. Oops, I went too many. No, I didn't. I keep thinking I do it too many times, but I don't. Okay, and you just keep going and going.